If you've been following my Mount Buller content, you'll know I covered the top 5 intermediate runs recently. But here's the thing about Mount Buller. While it's famous for being Melbourne's winter playground and incredibly accessible for learning, what doesn't always get the credit it deserves is the advanced terrain. With 35% of the mountain's 76 trails graded black diamond, there's genuinely challenging skiing and riding to be found here. During my August visit, I made it a point to explore every piece of advanced terrain I could access or whatever was open. What I discovered is that Mount Buller's advanced runs aren't just steep slopes for the sake of it. They're varied, technical, and offer everything from perfectly groomed steeps to proper mogul fields, and even some cliff band access if you're willing to hike for it. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not claiming to be an expert skier. I'm a competent rider who enjoys technical terrain, but I'm still working on my mogul technique, and I'm not about to straight line everything in sight. That perspective actually helps here, because these runs represent what most advanced skiers will experience, not just what the absolute best riders can handle. So whether you're progressing from intermediate terrain or you're an advanced skier wondering if Mount Buller has enough to challenge you, these 5 runs showcase what the resort offers at the Black Diamond level. If you've tackled any of these before, let me know in the comments how you found them. And if this helps with your trip planning, hit that like button and subscribe for more ski resort content. Now, before we get into it, I want to say thank you to the Mount Buller team for hooking me up with the day lift pass that allowed me to get out and shoot this content. Right, with that, let's get into it. Starting at number 5, I'm combining Sun Valley and Plug Hole because they really represent the same terrain experience in that Sun Valley basin. This whole area sits directly below the right-hand side of the village and houses 6 different advanced trails, all easily accessible thanks to the Bull Run chairlift. Here's what you need to know about this zone. In the mornings, it's icy as hell. I'm talking proper firm conditions that'll test your edge control before you've even had your second coffee. But stick with it, because by afternoon, this ungroomed bowl transforms into something much more manageable as the sun works its magic on the snow. This is essentially a mogul playground, or minefield, depending on your skill level and confidence with bumps. I'll be the first to admit that I'm still getting comfortable with proper mogul skiing, so I wasn't straight lining anything or looking like a world champion out there. But that's exactly why it earns the number 5 spot. It's challenging enough to push your abilities without being completely unforgiving. What I appreciate about this terrain is the variety within the bowl. You can pick your line based on how the moguls have formed and your comfort level. Some sections are more forgiving than others, and you can always bail out to easier terrain if things get overwhelming. The best part? Once you reach the bottom, you get to look back up at what you just conquered, or what just conquered you. That perspective from the Bull Run lift line really puts the vertical and steepness into context. Plus, the chairlift makes lapping this terrain efficient, so you can build confidence with multiple runs. Number 4 is Urelda, and this run perfectly demonstrates why Mount Buller's advanced terrain shouldn't be underestimated. Starting off under the south side chairlift, you'll notice a deceptively flat section at the top. Don't let that fool you. This whole part of the resort is designed for advanced riders, and Urelda proves why. What starts as an easy-looking trail quickly becomes an ungroomed, steeply pitched descent with multiple options to duck into the trees. This is where Mount Buller shows its technical side. Large moguls, proper steep pitches, and small drop-off zones that keep you honest with your line choice. During my visit, the run was relatively short, finishing at the base of the Southside quad lift. However, I'm told that with good snowfall, Urelda can extend all the way down to the bottom of the Federation Triple Chair, which would make it a properly long advanced descent. The tree skiing options are what set this run apart from some of the other advanced terrain. While I stuck to the main fall line, there are plenty of opportunities to explore gladed sections if that's your thing. The moguls were well formed during my visit, providing a good test of technique without being impossibly tight. Access is straightforward from the south side chair, and the terrain gives you a real sense of being in the more remote parts of Mount Buller's ski area. It's not as easily lapped as some other runs, but the variety and technical challenge make it worth the effort. Right, quick break from the video. I need to tell you about something we've just launched that honestly should have existed years ago. How many times have you arrived at a resort and realized you've forgotten your goggles, or your phone charger, or that one crucial layer that would have made the difference between a good day and a great day on the mountain? Yeah, me too. Every bloody trip. So we've built something at Snow Stash to fix this, and a bunch of other planning headaches that come with ski trips. You can now sign up for a free Snow Stash account, and here's what that gets you. First, a proper packing checklist that you can customize and save. No more standing in a rental shop at 8 a.m, wondering if your boots are back in the accommodation or actually in the car. Second, trip planning tools. Create your itineraries. Save your accommodation details. Easily access resort webcams and our resort snow reports, all in one place instead of scattered across your phone's notes app and random bits of paper. Third, our weekly newsletter, which keeps you up to date on the latest snow news all year round. Plus, you can favorite the resorts you've loved or build a wish list of places you want to visit. Because, let's face it, half the fun of skiing is planning the next trip while you're still on the current one. Look, it's free, it takes about 30 seconds to sign up, and we're constantly adding features based on what actual skiers and riders tell us they need. The link's in the description, or just head to snowstash.com and click the sign up button. We're hoping this becomes your go-to partner for the entire ski season. Right, back to the video. Thanks for watching. Ciao. If you love steep, groomed runs where you can really lay down some proper turns, you'll appreciate number 3 on my list, men's downhill. Running parallel to the other side of the south side quad chair, this trail is short but delivers exactly what advanced skiers want from a groomed steep. During my visit, it was perfectly groomed, which I believe is typically the case, and it's an absolute blast to ride. This is the kind of run where you can really test your carving technique and push the limits of your equipment. No moguls, no cliffs, just a consistent steep pitch with immaculate grooming that lets you focus purely on your turns. Access is flexible. You can reach it directly from the south side chair by tucking left, or approach it from the bull run chair via the Sun Valley area and continue right. This gives you options for linking it into longer runs or setting up efficient laps. What I particularly enjoyed about men's downhill is how it lets you build confidence on steep terrain without the technical challenges of moguls or variable snow conditions. It's the kind of run where you can really open it up and feel what your skis or snowboard can do when conditions are optimal. The pitch is legitimate, steep enough to get your attention and challenge your technique, but consistent enough that you can find your rhythm and really enjoy the descent. For advanced skiers working on their groomed steep technique, this run delivers exactly what you're looking for. Summit Right earns the number 2 spot, and if you watch my intermediate runs video, you'll remember that the main Summit run made that list as well. But the advanced terrain off the Summit chair showcases a completely different character. From the top of the Summit chair, you head left and immediately have choices to make. You can take the groomed section closer to the chairlift or commit to the right-hand side where the ungroomed terrain lives. I opted for the groomed section during my visit, and it proved to be a perfect challenge level, steep enough to really test your abilities, but not as intense as some of the more extreme summit options. The terrain flows well with consistent pitch that lets you link turns and build momentum. But here's where it gets interesting. Once you finish the Summit Right section, you continue on to Hauqua, which looks mellow at first glance. Don't be fooled. The bottom half of Hauqua kicks in with proper pitch, giving you a nice extended descent down to the base of the Hauqua quad lift. The one downside to this run is accessibility for lapping. Unlike some of the other advanced terrain, you need 2 chairlifts to get from the bottom back to the top. First the Hauqua quad, then the Summit chair. It's not a deal breaker, but it does make quick laps less efficient than some other options. The views from the summit area are outstanding, and the terrain variety within this zone means you could spend significant time exploring different line choices and snow conditions. Coming in at number 1 is Slalom Gully, and this run represents everything that makes Mount Buller's advanced terrain special. While you can technically access this from the top of the summit chair by staying as far right as possible, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't take the full experience. Here's what I recommend. Take off your skis at the top and make the easy hike to the actual summit of Mount Buller. The hike itself isn't demanding, but the views along the ridgeline are incredible. Once you reach the summit, take a moment to appreciate what you're looking at. You're standing at the highest point of the resort with the entire ski area spread out below you. From this vantage point, you can study your line options because Slalom Gully offers multiple ways down. Expert skiers can head further right to tackle the cliffs and technical gullies, but for most advanced riders, the main fall line down the middle provides plenty of challenge. This run is steep, ungroomed, and demands respect. The terrain varies as you descend, offering different technical challenges and line choices. Near the bottom, you have options. You can connect back to the groomed Halqua run for an easier finish, or continue through the ungroomed sections all the way to the base if you're feeling confident. What makes this run special is the complete experience. The hike, the summit views, the line selection, the technical descent, it all combines into something that feels more significant than just another advanced run. Plus, when you're standing in the Halqua lift line afterward, you get this perfect view looking back up at where you just came from, which really puts the achievement into perspective. This is the kind of terrain that proves Mount Buller has legitimate advanced skiing for those willing to seek it out. After thoroughly exploring Mount Buller's advanced terrain, I came away with a different perspective on what this resort offers. While it's rightfully known as accessible and family-friendly, the advanced runs provide genuine challenge and variety that many skiers don't realize exists. These 5 runs showcase different aspects of advanced skiing, from the mogul fields of Sun Valley to the groomed steeps of men's downhill to the technical challenge of Slalom Gully. What impressed me most is how each run has its own character and challenges specific skills, whether that's mogul technique, carving on steeps, or line selection on variable terrain. For advanced skiers wondering if Mount Buller has enough to keep you engaged, the answer is absolutely yes. The terrain might not have the scale of somewhere like Perisher, but Perisher lacks true advanced riding, and whilst Hotham might be the home to the best advanced terrain in Australia, Mount Buller certainly holds its own. The quality and variety of the advanced runs is strikingly impressive if you know where to look. Plus, the accessibility means you can focus on skiing rather than dealing with long lift lines or difficult access. If you're progressing from intermediate terrain, I'd suggest starting with men's downhill to get comfortable with groomed steeps, then moving to summit right for longer descents before tackling the ungroomed challenges of the Sun Valley Basin, and eventually working up to Slalom Gully. The reality is, 35% advanced terrain at Mount Buller means there's plenty to explore beyond these 5 runs. These represent my favourites from the advanced category, but there are other black diamond options scattered around the mountain that offer different challenges and experiences. Let me know in the comments which Mount Buller advanced run is your go-to, or if you disagree with my rankings. And if you're planning to tackle some advanced terrain at Mount Buller this season, hopefully this gives you a better idea of where to focus your efforts. Thanks for watching. Ciao.